A new AI model just came out and it's very good at reasoning and coding tasks and it's purely agentic. Today we will talk about GLM 4.6 and there is a very important reason why you want to look at this video and potentially start trying this model. So this model has now longer context window than its previous 4.5 version. It rose from 128,000 tokens to 200,000 tokens, which is a significant increase. It's also a lot better at coding tasks and it's actually beating models like Claude Sonnet 4.5 on coding. They have improved its reasoning, they have made it a lot more capable on agentic tasks, and a lot of people say that this is currently the best model for human writing. It's very good at its style and readability. So you might want to give it a look, and you can test it out completely for free right now on chat.z.ai. You can log in with your Google account and select Deep Think mode. Also, you've got here some preferences like what you want to create, from AI slides to full stack applications to magic designs to deep research and to writing code. So let's see how this model does on benchmarks, and after that we're going to do a very small and quick test in some of my prompts. So here is the performance of it across 8 benchmarks. They show its previous version, they show it compared to the new DeepSeek version 3.0 experimental, Claude for Sonnet and Claude Sonnet 4.5. Also, this is an open weights model, so you can self-host it if you want to. So in terms of math, it's doing a tremendous job with tools, reaching 98.6%, with tools, and without tools 93.9%. It beats all of the other models and it has done a 10% jump in absolute value compared to the previous version, which was quite recently released. On GPQA, it's also doing a tremendous improvement of about 1% and with tool about 3% versus its previous version, and it's also matching the performance of the new Claude Sonnet 4.5. On Live Code Bench version 6, it's also beating the competition by quite a margin. And on Humanity's Last Exam, with tools, it gets the grade of 30. So this is very significant improvements in general and a big jump versus their previous version. In browse competition, it also does a tremendous job and beats the new DeepSeek 3.2. On software engineering bench verified, it's lagging behind Claude 4.5 and Claude for Sonnet, but it's matching the performance of DeepSeek, and they already done an improvement versus their previous model. On Terminal Bench, which is agentic, it's also lagging behind Claude 4.5, but beats Claude for Sonnet. And on T-Square Bench, it's also doing a very good job. Again, it's worse than Claude Sonnet 4.5. However, the important thing here is that this model is a lot more cheap to use than Claude 4.5. And I actually want to give you a realistic comparison. So on OpenRouter, so this model costs 60 cents per million token input and about $2.1 per million token output. This is a very capable and cheap model, and also their tokens per second are at around 100 tokens, which is a quite fast model. If we compare with Claude 4.5 Sonnet, which was released like 2 days ago from Anthropic, it's 2 times faster and it's also significantly cheaper. We're talking about nearly 10 times cheaper. So as you can understand, even though this model is less capable on some benchmarks, specifically agentic tasks, in terms of cost to performance ratio, it's one of the best models out there. One more thing that I want to note is that these guys over here have subscriptions that are very cheap. They've got like a subscription starting at about $3 to $6 per month, and you can use this model inside Claude Code for your coding tasks at a very cheap price. So in general, this model is doing a tremendous job against the open weights competition like DeepSeek version 3.1 Terminus, Kimi K2, and it's doing a very good job against Claude for Sonnet. It's pretty much, I would say, Claude for Sonnet, but a lot cheaper. And it's quite near, at least on benchmarks, to Claude 4.5, which is 10 times more costly. So what they also have improved is they have reduced about 15 to 20% the token usage per interaction. This model uses a lot less tokens than the other open weight models, which is very significant in terms of your final pricing. It's not only about how much it costs per million tokens of output and input, but it's also important that the model is not very verbose. The less tokens your model uses per query that it solves, the less your actual costs will be. So this is very important and very significant to keep in touch with. And we can also see that it's a lot more capable than the previous version while using less tokens. So I think it's a good time to get started with this model, to give it a check, to give it a try. So I'm going to make some very simple full stack applications just to get, a sense if this model can actually solve some very simple tasks, like building an interactive Pokemon Pokédex web page. Let's see what this model will do. Again, I firmly expect it to do a very good job because it's agentic, and what I really like to see is that this model is also agentic in its chat interface, which is something that a lot of current, closed source models are not able to do. Like Gemini 2.5 Pro is not agentic, and I firmly expect Google to release their Gemini 3 model as soon as possible because competition has literally eclipsed the power of Gemini 2.5 Pro, and really I tremendously see no value, in, having a Gemini subscription right now. Compared to what competition has to offer in terms of cost and intelligence, Google is very far behind, but I firmly believe they will significantly catch up in the next few days with the release of Gemini 3. So the model has started creating like a plan. It's thinking out exactly what it has to do. So in order to not waste any more of your time, I'm just going to jump to the result. So I want to show you a little bit of the trace of what this model does. So this model starts and does work inside the VM it has spun up. We can see the model currently writing the code. In the beginning, it's like fully of errors. The preview is not working, but this is to be expected as the model continuously refines the code. And hopefully we're going to see it actually finishing up the application and allowing us to see the final result. But I just wanted to show you this intermediate step because it's very, very interesting. So this is the final response of the model. And here we can see the exact Pokemon Pokédex. I really like its stat menu. It's very capable. I really think it has gone quite in depth. And in all honesty, this is one of the finest responses I have ever seen from a model. Let's check this search feature, and it actually works. So I think this is a very interesting and amazing result from the model. So I will go ahead and try to edit this query to see how the model performs with code editing. Make the UI a lot more modern in a blue-black theme. Make the menu of the Pokemons contain more information. Allow me to compare 5 Pokemon in a... Okay, so we're going to make some changes. So the first thing is we want to make the UI more modern with a specific theme. We want to make the menu of the Pokemons contain more information. And we also want to be able to compare multiple Pokemons at once. So I want to see if this model can actually edit the code successfully and respond to all of these queries at the same time and give us a very much better Pokemon Pokédex than what we currently see. Already, I gotta say that this is one of the finest responses from AI in terms of this query I have ever seen. This model already seems to be very, very capable. So this is the response from the model. We can already see it added a lot more information. It made the website a lot more modern. So if I click view details, we see more detailed stuff, a lot better responses. And if we click the plus button, we can do a comparison. So after you put two Pokemons, you can start comparing them. Not a perfect response, but already I can see a lot of powerful results from this model. Let's add a third Pokemon and let's compare. I think this is a very, very capable model already, but I want to do some more queries to be very sure about it. So let's create a full stack web page that will teach the user transformer models. Let's see how this model can do, but I'm already really amazed by its quality. And while we wait for the response, I just want to let you know that I have a very cheap AI course down below in the description. If you're interested in learning more about AI tools, I would highly suggest that you check it out. It costs only $20, it's a one-time fee, and every single month I put hours upon hours of new tutorials, new tools, and new stuff to learn. So make sure to check it out. I think it's going to be a very good learning experience for anyone that is not an expert in AI tools. So we finally got the response for this website, and I gotta say this looks very interesting. What I really like about this is that it's purely an educational website. It really focuses on creating a slide-like experience to teach you everything you need. So it starts with an overview and an introduction. You can mark each session as completed and your progress is saved. Here you can see the architecture of transformers. You can see attention, where you can click like the play button and, for example, see how every step of the pipeline works. And this is something that I have never seen from a model. This looks incredibly interesting. And let's see some more things. We can see specific, mathematics for each of the main concepts, optimization techniques, and different kind of applications that have been used for this model. And I gotta say, this is amazing, and it gives you a congratulations at the end. This is arguably the best response I have ever seen from a model in terms of this prompt, and I have tested, tenths of models over the past 1 year on this channel. This is very, very amazing. So I'm just going to give it another prompt because I'm quite addicting to seeing this model first of all work, because you can see all of the trace of agentic usage. And I gotta say, in all honesty, I really love the responses this model gives. This seems like a very cheap and very capable model. Okay, so we got the response for the Flappy Bird game, and per usual, the game is pretty hard to play. I really like how, this game is so, detailed in a web version format. I'm just going to say to the model, the game is way too hard. Make it super easy. So per usual, all of the AI models that I have been testing with these prompts are unable to create an easy game to play. I really don't know why. I really don't know what is going wrong with the AI models, or if it's me, or if it's the browser, but I'm always asking the models to make the game simpler and easier to play, and all of the times the models, completely fail to do so. Maybe it's the virtual machines that run the code, maybe it's something else, I really don't know. However, I'm just going to say to the model to make the game easier to play, and let's see if it's able to understand the actual physics behind the game to indeed make it simpler to play. Okay, so let's see if the model actually was able to do so, and it actually did the game a lot simpler. And I really like the response. I really like how everything looks. This looks pretty great. It keeps your current score and your high score. And also it's very easy to play with the spacebar. Maybe at this point it's a little bit way too easy, but yeah, it looks nice. The pipes look nice. Everything is working perfectly. And I gotta say, again, this model outcompetes every other model. I'm just going to try one of the hardest prompts that I have ever seen. So I'm asking the game to create Grand Theft Auto characters for a game, a chess game. I really want to see if this model is able to create a game that uses this kind of characters and comes closer to what I expect from the game to make, because in the previous models they try to avoid copyrights and all of that stuff, so they avoid putting information from Grand Theft Auto characters. So I really want to see if this model is a lot less restrictive in terms of copyrights. I don't expect it to be, but I really want to see its response, and that's how we're going to close this video. And we got the response, and I gotta say this is the best response I have ever seen from a model. And we can see here exactly the game being played, and we got two teams, Grove Street Captures versus Ballas Captures, and we can see exactly how this game goes. I really love how this model understands that we want to make an interesting game. I really like it. I really like it. And by clicking on a piece, you supposedly are able to see character info. So this is the Bala soldiers, frontline warrior. This is the rook, which is Krakow, stronghold of Bala's operation. This is the knight, that is the carjacker. This is the bishop. This is king, Bala's kingpin. This is queen, Bala's queen. And this is the bishop. Okay, so that's very interesting. This is again homie, which is the pawn, Grove Street territory, the rook, knight is the biker and sir, church leader, king is the CJ. Oh yes, finally. We got queen as Sweet Johnson. Okay, very interesting. And I gotta say, this looks pretty nice. Gotta say to you guys, this is a tremendous result from the model, and you can play the game, you can undo the move, you can close the sound off, so you're not going to be getting spammed. That looks really nice, and click new game and you get started from zero. Amazing. This model, in my opinion, right now is the best option for people that want a very smart model and a very, cheap model. So guys, I would highly suggest that you check it out. I really think this is a tremendous model. For me, in my eyes, it feels like the best opportunity out there if you want to use AI within great limits while paying minimum amount of money. So I really like what I'm seeing from these guys. I think it's a tremendous, work that they have done. And yeah, I really don't know what else to tell you. Like, this model is super capable, it's super great, I really like it, and I would highly suggest that you start using it.